just a messenger. I just work here, and I had a lot of questions today, so I'm just letting you guys know that there's no one upstairs. Okay. If you want to come upstairs and see that there's no one up there, you're totally welcome to.
And it was canceled when?
Apparently it was canceled a week ago.
And it's not 100% true because we met on Tuesday, so it's between Tuesday and today. It was canceled a week ago, according to the staff. So we didn't get notice until now.
We didn't even get notice now. We still haven't gotten official notice. No posting, nothing on the internet.
I just walk through doors, Lucas.
Yeah.
You noticed this about me?
Yeah. So you're saying that
You were going out.
going up.
I'm going up.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
We're going to talk to the desk clerk
For what?
about the meeting that got canceled.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. There's lots of people in your building that are part of it.
I'll read it.
You want to speak to Wendy? Here's Jerry. Yeah.
Hi, Jerry. Five or 6 days ago, Jerry, you canceled the meeting here at Woodward's? Okay. No, yeah, there was going to be no protest, but one of the problem was, who told you that there was going to be a protest? Like who? Some of the DNC board members? It was Roland. Oh, okay. Oh, you had rumors. Yeah. When did you put the sign on the door? 2 or 3 days? Did you put up a sign today too?
Come on in, just come up. I can't. What?
Today? Somebody tore it down?
Yeah, they all know. It doesn't.
Okay.
I
Oh,
can't
okay,
speak
that's
for all
not
those
good.
people.
So you don't know if the
Just
sign
relax.
went up today or not?
Don't do anything silly. Don't say anything.
Oh, there was one on the door
Just
yesterday.
Either come
Okay.
inside or go upstairs.
Okay, well,
Be
so
smart.
it was canceled 5
Be
days
smart.
ago.
I don't come in, but be smart.
Okay, Tuesday you let Roland know it was canceled. Okay. Well, that sucks, man. So we were really surprised to come here and find no meeting. Yeah, I understand why you'd cancel. I mean, there was going to be no protest, but basically the room is too small for the number of people that were going to show up anyways. But the board should have found another location, but they're basically scared they're going to get outvoted. That's what it's about. Yeah, I'm going to leave you a flyer here. I'm going to leave you a flyer so you can read what it's about. So when you're dealing with Roland, you know exactly what the flyer doesn't say who's responsible for it, but it's Roland. The board.
Jerry definitely told me that it was canceled within this week. I can't remember him saying 5 days, but it was within this week it was canceled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Sorry, guys.
Thank you. I can gray out your face if you want, so.
Instead of ratifying the board members who the current board has appointed without the okay of the membership, we wanted to have an annual general meeting called as soon as possible, basically in November of 2013, so that we can move ahead together and stop this split, this widening between the board and the membership. And so maybe what we could do is the group that's here, all DNC members, could put out a communication to the current board. We could send a letter to the current board asking for these things again, because they're all things that have already been voted on and affirmed by the membership. Two separate occasions the membership has asked for a conflict resolution process done by a neutral third party, and the board has failed to carry out those directions from the membership. And also, the membership has voted on many occasions, most recently at the April general meeting, in support of taking a position against gentrification in the community, and that motion was done by supporting Homeless Dave's hunger strike.
May I ask a question? Why are you not here? Tell me.
Because the meeting was here.
No, not you. Somebody.
Yeah, it's a good question, but why are you here drinking on, when you're not supposed to be doing here?
I can answer your question. We're here because we heard the meeting was on today at 2 p.m. We got a notice last night saying that the meeting, this room was canceled. We expected to see a sign on the door telling us where to go for the meeting, but there's obviously no
I'm not
meeting.
here, obviously.
We just found out.
There was no official notice from the organization.
So leave my dwelling alone, okay? I live here.
We're on our way.
Yeah.
So is there, some people were prepared to say some things at the general meeting about some of these motions and what we wanted to work on. Is there anyone who'd like to say why you're here, why you're wearing an original DNC shirt, and what it means for this community to have an organization that's able to fight against the pressure on the community that's being brought by high-end business, and the need, and to fight for the need for housing that we have in the community here? Dave, and then...
Basically, I wanted to, the last meeting, I asked the question and I never did get any real answer because it was put up that we couldn't speak, which was kind of funny. I thought when you have a chance to speak, you're allowed to speak. So basically, I was just asking why the other recommendations that were done with the conflict resolution with one of our staff members from Vandu was the third party that helped do some conflict resolution. There was concessions given on the one side. The first, they took the first step in, in the spirit of trying to make things work by stepping aside and not running for the board. After that, I asked, how come the rest of the recommendations were not carried through with the new board? And they were, no, we don't have to. That's not important. We don't want to hear about that. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So...
No, hold on. Let's get to the details.
That's what I'm saying.
Blah, blah, blah.
The process,
You should have had a meeting.
the process
You should have
was not democratic. And
One person at a time,
basically,
please.
what's happening right now is the membership has no input into any of the DNC board's recommendations or their motions
right.
or any of their community actions. Right? They have no membership.
Community action.
That's right.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Stephen.
I'm here because I've been with the DNC almost for 3 years or whatever. And I was working from May to August and I'm casual on call, so I'm kind of busy working. But, so I haven't been around. And not being around, it's been 7 or 8 months, so there's people that I look around the room that I haven't seen for 8 months. And it was just amazing. When I came here, I didn't expect this number of people to be standing outside. And the main reason that I'm here is because Roland's board, and I say Roland's board for a reason because it doesn't matter who's president if he's pulling the strings, is making decisions that are against the bylaws, against the Society Act, and definitely, especially Section 9 having to do with marginalization, against the Constitution. And it appears that this guy does whatever he wants. He gets rid of his enemies. And that allows him free rein to control the DNC and the purse strings. Now, I was told by Jacek, I'm letting everybody know here, that the reason that the CCAP members were let go has little to do with the fact that they didn't attend board meetings, more to do with the fact that they were funding the DNC and that it was a conflict of interest. So that's a bunch of bullshit that I think everybody should know. Right? That's all I've got to say.
Nadine's next, but I want to ask, there's a bunch of people filming, but we haven't gotten, maybe people are sensitive about being filming. Is there, should
Please be aware their security office maybe,
and they're also,
at the meeting as well.
a camera, an eye in the sky.
People are coming through, their stuff's here.
So is there anyone here who thinks we should not be filming at all? Okay, so there's at least 3 people who feel we shouldn't be filming at all. So can we just ask that the people with cameras turn them off at this point? This was the second DNC general meeting called by the board that was elected in December. The tradition of DNC is to have general meetings every month, not because it's the legal responsibility under the Society Act, but because the democratic foundation of DNC is the membership.
and that if the general membership needs to have access to the board, both to direct what the board does and to have the board be accountable to the opinions of the general community at large. So those membership meetings are very important to the democratic functioning of the organization. And for 3 years, that's how the organization has functioned. But since the current board came in, they've only called 2 general meetings. The first one was in April, and at that meeting they didn't allow any new items to be added to the agenda, and they didn't allow anyone to vote on any motions. And then the second meeting was supposed to be this one, today, September 21st, but the meeting was canceled without ever being posted as canceled. There was no posting online or in any public forum or here in public out on the street that the meeting was canceled. We were just informed by an individual board member upon arrival that the meeting was canceled. And so about 30 DNC general members showed up to the meeting today and went in and held an ad hoc meeting where we made a couple of motions that were supported almost unanimously by the people present in the meeting, that we send a note to the board making putting forward the 3 demands from the membership. One, that the board members who've been appointed by the current board without being ratified by the members not be ratified, and that instead an AGM be held as soon as possible. But as part of setting up that AGM, that the board also create a third-party neutral conflict resolution process to try to grapple with these tensions that are tearing the DNC apart. And that part about the conflict resolution process has been twice voted on by the membership. Once at the pre-AGM, where it was unanimously carried just in November of 2012, and then again at the first general meeting of the year in April 2013. And so this is the 3rd time that members have voted on and supported the creation of a conflict resolution process, as outlined by a members' committee that was established last year in September of 2012. So there's a real foundation for there to be a conflict resolution process and for there to be an AGM drawn up quickly in order to deal with these conflicts as a main priority of the board. Secondly, there was a motion that came from Homeless Dave to affirm point 5 of the DNC Constitution, that DNC stands fundamentally against gentrification, which means, as outlined in the January resolution from the membership in January 2011, saying that there should be no market development in the downtown east side until no one has to live on the street, no one has to sleep in shelters, and no one has to sleep in crummy SROs until we get all the housing that we need. And so that puts non-market social housing ahead of market development and says that DNC is fundamentally taking a position against gentrification. The board has recently contradicted that position by siding with gentrifiers in press conferences and in public statements. So we want to retract those public statements from DNC which contradict the Constitution and basic policies of the organization. And also, but for DNC to publicly take a neutral position on the specific tactic of pickets. And that's not because that I think the pickets are bad, but it's because there is not currently a democratic enough climate within DNC to have a fair, informed discussion about the tactic of pickets and to make a real decision about it. So rather than trying to take a position that is going to further divide the organization, we think that it should be that DNC should publicly be neutral about the pickets and not take positions for or against them, which would free members to act however they personally wish, but would forbid them from making statements on behalf of DNC. The 3rd resolution was the simplest, and it was that Herb Varley and Richard Cunningham remain the appointed delegates to the city's local area planning process from the DNC. So Herb has been acting as the co-chair of DNC since I was removed by the city in September of 2012. Herb has been the co-chair for all that time, and we believe that he should remain the co-chair until the process is finished in order to have continuity of leadership in that process and to have someone there who understands all the dynamics of what's going on and to be able to best represent the interests of the low-income community here in the plan for the future of the downtown east side. So that's kind of what happened today, and now the 5 people who were excluded from participating in this meeting by the board's illegal decree are now going to send those resolutions to the board as supported by the 30 people who were here today.
Well, we're very angry because the Downtown Eastside Neighborhood Council, their board, the current board, canceled the general meeting. And I just found out from the manager of this building that he notified them 4 or 5 days ago. And so it took them this long, and it was mysterious all the way up until the last minute. So
at this impromptu or ad hoc meeting, I'm not sure whether it was canceled or whatever. But anyhow, I was able to raise a motion, and that motion is that the DNC set up a neutral conflict resolution process and will not ratify the new board members elected by the current board, and will organize an annual general meeting with the elections to happen in November 2013.
But we need a place where we can hash this stuff out and vote and take positions as a community. So today what we were going to do is we were going to ask the membership to be neutral about the pickets. Instead of taking a position against a public position, this current board took a public position against the pickets. We want this organization to be neutral. Then, you know, individuals can be for or against, but they can't speak on behalf of the neighborhood council. And we also had a motion prepared not to impeach this board, but to have an election in November. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to vote. They don't want election. They're going to try to hang on as long as they can. And the third thing is we wanted the young guy who's been on the board for the last 3 years to maintain his position as co-chair, Herb Varley, of the Downtown Eastside Local Area Planning process, because we believe they're going to push him out, trying to push him out again too. But so it's going to go on. The SEG is going to continue. This is a waste of time, actually. I'd rather not be here, and there's other things to do. But this is what divide and conquer looks like. It wastes your blinking time.